Well, hello guys, welcome back. I'm going to try something with today's god of the day that I haven't done for any of the other gods, and they can go ahead and they can get mad, but it just doesn't seem right to do a Njord video without being on the water. So what I'm actually going to do for this video and this video only is we're going to switch over to a VR experience and be on the water. If you don't like it, I understand guys, I know that's breaking tradition, but it just feels right, and it feels like I'm going to be able to do it better. So if you guys just stick with me, you'll see it right after this. Well, hello guys and welcome back. So this is going to be the video on Njord. Oh my goddess, that is a seagull. That is actually one of his animals, and I did not plan this. So we are going to be discussing Njord as today's god. Okay, it's flying through the sand and through a tree. But I take it we have his blessings. He is actually a Norse deity that we don't actually know all that much about. We know that he came over during the Aesir-Vanir War, and we know that the Aesir and Vanir actually fought to a standstill, and there were so many losses on each side that even Odin had to agree that they had to come to an agreement. So he came over, and he came over with Freya, and we have actually very little after that. We know that he had a unnamed sister who was the mother of the children, and that this was common practice among the Vanic gods. They definitely would have brother-sister marriages, which are actually common in a lot of pantheons. And we know nothing else of this goddess. Some say it might be Nerthus, but that is pure speculation. And we know that, he is a god of sailors. He's a god of good sailing weather. He is god of fishing. And other than that, everything is pure speculation. So, why would we work with a Nordic sailing god in today's day and age when most of us are not fishermen, nor do we have anything to do with the sea? In my experience, I find out that if he approaches us, he feels that he has wisdom to impart to us. Whether he may have done this in the past, I don't know. But he's very much a god that will dispense wisdom if we will listen. Unlike some other Nordic deities, he's not going to be very forceful about having us learn. If we will learn, he will teach us. If we won't learn, he's just going to quietly, go away. It's not that we are more forceful than him, it's just that it's not Nord's way usually to be harsh. I'm not saying that he couldn't be pushed or he doesn't have his limits, but he usually is not going to be the type of god to be wrathful towards people if they're just being foolish. He is the god that comes in and tries to bring calm weather and peace if I'm having a disagreement with Loki or Odin, though I wouldn't advise just having him around for that. Do you know what I mean? And he is also the god that, people work with today because he's associated with riches, whether those are riches of the sea or they are material riches is disputed. And he's the god of, like I said, fair weather. Rain seems to be an addition. Success. People have transferred the success of fishing to success in business. And just all-around prosperity. So he's definitely one of the more peaceful deities. He can have that war side, as he demonstrated during the Aesir-Vanir War. But overall, he's going to be a more peaceful deity who is more concerned with seeing the people that he works with, happy and prospering. Oh, and look, something for Freyr. A magical boar that can walk through trees. So we're getting the whole Vanir pantheon here. Look, Piggy. So back to Njord. He's one of the gods I've actually had one of the best relationships because he's calm. And he's definitely taken that counselor position with me where, he's very loving and he's very honest and he's very open. And if you are not accepting a God as they are, he will point that out and he will ask you what it is about you that you're having trouble. One of the things he will do during a negotiation for you is, he'll ask you, well, why aren't you getting along? And if you say, well, I guess it's just the way I am, he'll say, well, what is it about you that makes you unable to do this thing? And he'll give you advice. Now, I've found sometimes his advice can be a little hard to follow because sometimes Njord's advice would be like the advice of a older sailor or an older fisherman to a younger man. It is going to involve work. It's going to involve some effort on your part, but if it's something he thinks you can do, he's going to advise it. He's not the God of impossible tasks. He's not the God of work for work's sake. He's not the God of prove your love to me, prove your loyalty. He's not one of those type of deities. So, I think we'll just take a little bit more of an explore here, but it felt right to come out to the water for Njord because he is just one of those deities that I had this vague idea you could connect. He and Freyr are not the same deity, but he's more than welcome in his son's realm or his daughter's realm or any of the realms. All the gods seem to enjoy his company. Odin certainly seems to calm down in his presence, which is remarkable because Odin's very willful. And he just has a lot of wisdom to impart on people. And we don't have, traditionally speaking, we don't have a glut of male wisdom deities that are this approachable. We have male wisdom deities, but Njord is honestly friendly and honestly cares about people, where some of them tend to be a little bit more esoteric and he doesn't. And definitely you can work with him if you have a deep love of the sea, and if you have a deep love of sailing, fishing, anything else. If you're landlocked like I am, there are always things on YouTube if you want to try to feel a connection. I don't honestly feel that he's very, demanding towards doing anything one particular way. Obviously, if you're going to join a group that works with Njord, they may say differently, but for me, it's been overall a thing of we just spend time together when I really need to unwind and I really need advice, and he will always be the God that's there and faithful for you, no matter how much trouble I'm having with Odin or Loki. He's the kind of deity that, in my experience, he's not going to take things personally, and to be an advisor, he can't take the side of the gods and be against you. He can advise you what would be best for you and point out the gods that are loyal and have always been with you. But he's not going to take sides. He knows enough, let me put it this way, and don't misunderstand me, he knows enough not to push where pushing will do no good. So if he knows that it's a time to speak more gently to you, that's usually what you'll get. So, look, fishes! So I just thought I would bring you in here, and we could have some time to talk about Njord, because we have very little in the lore to go on. There's a ton of UPG out there, guys. I mean a ton. There is a UPG that he is the stepfather, though he would say full father if this is what you believe, of Segan. We don't have any historical evidence, but that's the general consensus in the UPG. There is, of course, the marriage to Scotty that, I sometimes wonder if it wasn't a deeper allegorical story, because it's obviously a god who loves the sea and the surf and the sand and sailing. If you take him and you just plant him in the mountains and that's part of his essential nature, he's not going to thrive. Just like a snow and mountain goddess that loves the wolves and skiing and everything is not going to thrive. But it ended happily. They had an amicable divorce. Some pagans will go to them for a separation and work with them together, obviously. And Scotty, some say, ended up with Oler. Some people say she ended up with Odin. So, it all worked out well. And I get the idea that Njord is quite happy having the ocean and the sea and the ships and the sailing and the fishes. So it all works out well. He's one of the nicest of the Nordic pantheon to work with, other than, like, say the other Vanir. They're much gentler, and they can be passionate, but they're usually, in my experience, they're much gentler and much more even keeled than, dealing sometimes with the Aesir. And that's nothing against the Aesir, it's just a different type of being. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This just felt fitting, and this relaxes me to come in here, and I obviously have always had a love for the sea, and now sometimes I wonder if it's not just a New York thing. Humans do have a blue brain, as I've told you guys before, where we are literally built to calm down around the water. It's literally a thing in us, but it just felt right to bring him to the sea, because I know it's something he enjoys. So if you want to do honor, and you can put on a YouTube video, one of those 7 or 8 hour, you don't have to watch it that long, but YouTube videos of the sea or something, that's perfectly acceptable. So I'm gonna wind it up here. I hear another little piggy for here. I hear another little piggy. There's a piglet somewhere on this island. There's a cute little piglet. I named the piglet Bacon. I'm a horrible person. I think Freyr's amused, but Freyr will be like, no, it's a piggy. So I will let you guys go, but this just felt right to do this for Njord. So I will see you guys later. If you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye.